Good morning, one and all. Today we're going to show you how to make a fast $5,000. The difficulty level of this project is about a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10. And the boys from Aquascape, they claim they do 2 of these a day. So let's just show you what it is. Let's get into it. All right, guys, I've got Chris. How are you, Chris?
Awesome, brother. How are you?
From Aquascape. And this is a fountain kit. And I said in the intro, you guys install these for about $5,000, and your team does 2 of them a day.
It only takes one person for this particular fountain add-on that we got going on. Yep. Super easy. Look at this thing. It's lightweight, right? It's easy. It's maneuverability. Easiest 5,000 you'll make in a half a day with one person.
Okay, now you do have these set up. You don't have to put them into an existing pond. You have this set up so a basin can come underneath it, and a guy can take a shovel and dig, what is it, like a 4x4 hole, 2 foot deep?
4x4 hole, 18 inches deep. That would require 2 people in about a 3-hour install time.
And it's the same price?
Same price.
$5,000.
$5,000.
So when it comes to doing these things, you guys have done 2 a day though, right?
2 a day. The beautiful thing is with these, we can fill up light rain days. It's raining, you can't move machines. We can get 2 teams of 2, set up a 10x10 pop-up tent and get this done, or a Fountainscape kit with basin done in a half a day, or the same 2, knock it out in the same day.
All right, well, let's knock it out. So you're telling me you and I could get this done in less than 3 hours?
Less than 3 hours.
Let's do it. So now in today's case, we're doing something a little different. We're installing this into an existing pond. You're not always going to have that as the case. And that's why Aquascape sells it as a kit, standalone. So they've got it set up so that a guy can come out there and dig in this short basin, 4x4, 18 inches deep. You don't hike any of the materials off site, and then it becomes a self-contained water feature that can go anywhere and be installed anywhere. It doesn't require a water source like a pond or something to go into. It is its own self-contained water source. And they don't have just these slate stacked urns, they've got all different things to pick from. That's not the point. The real thing that we're looking at here is the potential to make money and make it fast. So we set the clock to make sure that he wasn't lying about that 3-hour window. Only a true person that loves nature would spend the time to fish minnows out of my filtration system with me. That's what we're all
Save them all!
Save them all! So
let's work fast.
So what we're doing right now is we're just going to drain the upper filtration system down enough so that we're not working in water, and the main thing is not disturbing and bringing all that sediment back up to the top.
That's it. So right now, this is actually what we are pumping out of here year after year after year is like black gold. Some of the best fertilizer we're getting out of there right now.
Yep.
We're cleaning the bottom of the tank. We're not going to disturb the cleanliness or the ecosystem. That's the larger body of the water. We're only going to be in here for about an hour or 2 anyway without water. I think we're about that level now. Let's kill that pump and then construction begins.
Most of this install is manual labor. So if you're allergic to working hard, then this is not going to be for you. And I don't mean that this is hard labor, but it's manual labor. It doesn't require a whole lot of technical skill. It just requires you the ability to go out and work, to do things that maybe it's not for everybody, getting your hands dirty, but it didn't require a whole lot more than that. And if you're into using a whole lot of different really cool power tools, this job's not for you, because this is the only power tool required, and the only time that we ever needed to use it was to drill one single hole into the side of the filtration system to hook up the plumbing. And the plumbing isn't even difficult. Now, since you're not connecting the plumbing of this urn or vase to the main plumbing supply of the house, at least in our neck of the woods, no license is required. This is a self-contained unit, so it would be no different than if you went down to any big box store, bought one of their cheesy little fountain kits, dumped some water into it, and plugged it into the wall. Except this one looks good and makes you a lot of money. All right, so you've got a 2-inch pipe. In case I missed it, you have a 2-inch pipe. You got a 90-degree elbow coming straight up.
90-degree elbow coming straight up.
Yep. And then it goes right over to our clean out.
Goes right over to our pump that's going to provide all of the water coming up. I'm going to add a collar here for you, a threaded union.
Yep.
So we can disconnect it in the wintertime. If you ever want to replace this, get a different look, we sell multiple colors of them. Winterize it, you can easily take this standpipe off, and so you won't have this flagpole sticking out in the middle of your wetland. What this also does is allow me to backfill in around this to where I can weight down this, right? If dogs, kids, high wind, comes through here, the base is super weighted there, so it's not going to topple on you at all.
Nice. Now, the difference is, if we were installing this not in a wetland, but we were just doing this as a standalone feature, we would just dig down that 4x4, 18-inch deep basin, and it's just basically a square tub. That's all it is. It's that looks like that box, 18 inches tall, dig it underground, and then this goes directly on top of it. It's actually easier.
It's all fitted. It's plug and play. There's no measuring, right? I'm doing the tedious stuff, measuring. That is all plug and play out of the box. 2 complete novice rookies can read the instructions or watch the YouTube video and install it.
Okay. And we are 2 hours into our install. So
are we already?
Yes.
I got 1 hour to get this thing going then? Challenge accepted.
So he's got the, in this case, we've got a union. The pump is actually down there. We're going to be pumping out of the bottom of our wetland filtration system, so that just improves the aeration of the water flow, because that stagnant water down there, it won't be, because it's getting pumped up, through, out, down, boom, let's keep going. I had one guy, he stopped me at one of the pandemoniums. He's like, I used to sell Mercedes-Benz or whatever, one of them Infinities. He's like, I was making $200,000 a year, looking out the window, watching the world go by. He's like, I was miserable, but I couldn't leave. I was trapped in my job because I didn't want to give up $200,000 a year. He says, I now have 13 guys working for me, and I'm going out, I'm making more money than I did when I was working at the Mercedes dealer. But more importantly, I love everything that I'm doing. I love every minute of my life. And I'm like, that's the definition of success. Money is one measure of it, but the amount of happiness you get from what you're doing cannot be compared to in any way, shape, or form.
And think about like the courage it takes to take that leap of faith in yourself.
Yes.
How many contractors do we come across that don't take that leap of faith, right? Or that have the courage because family's on the line, bills are piling up, you're miserable looking out the window, proverbial window to your life, right? And just watching life go by, and you don't chase them. For a guy like that throws it all out on the line, right? And then it, becomes fruitful as a story in itself.
That's the thing, though. That's what the thing about aquascaping is. It actually has a certain amount of fear, right?
Yeah.
There's this learning curve to it that keeps people out of the game, which is fine. We don't need every Tom, Dick, and Harry coming into the game.
Right.
But for the guys that are willing to take the minute learning curve, because once you know it, you're just done. It's just, now it's muscle memory. Now you're on your way to making more money than you could have in any other profession inside the green industry. Because the first time I heard Greg stand on a stage and tell me that the average mow and blow guy makes $25 an hour and the average pond guy makes $253 an hour, I thought he was blowing smoke. And then, so I did a lot of analysis on my own pond. You guys made way more than that. On this Aquascape, you're coming in almost $1,000 an hour.
Yep.
On doing something like this. I mean, more than that, because this is a $5,000. So, and what does this thing cost?
Probably $1,000.
So $1,000 of material, $4,000 in your pocket, 4 hours of labor, 3 hours of labor, whatever it is, and you're on to the next one.
Yep. On to the next job.
It's been proven so many times. Okay, so what are we doing here now?
So this is just the dry fit game that we got going on. I gotta somehow shave that out. to be able to put that pipe right through it.
So we'll have a pipe coming straight up. It'll come right to there. We're just going to dry fit that. We're not going to, we don't need to seal that, do we? Or do you want to seal that?
Down there?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm going to want to seal that.
Okay.
So I'm going to dry fit it. I need my hole saw again. So I'm just going to drill right down and through the top of that. So that pipe is going to come through the top of this urn just like that. And then I'm going to seal it up. Here's the cool thing though with this is I don't have it here. I'm going to get it to you. But I want that pipe just barely cresting out of the top of this urn, because there's 4 pedestals in there to where you can drop on a fire canister here, and it's manual light. It's like a tiki torch, but you light it up, and now you can have fire coming out of this thing, you know, when you want, when you're entertaining, when you're just out here relaxing, stuff like that. So I do want to seal everything up.
But to mature and grow up, we have to talk about crucifixion. We have to talk about sharing his crucifixion, not just sharing his blessings. And we want to look at a couple of instances in the Bible where people were really being blessed and had such tremendous opportunities, and they just went totally haywire. How many of you know that sometimes you can get a severe case of the stupids?
I ordered 100 of these off from Amazon, a company called Toledo Goldfish. Is that a good place to buy crawdads and stuff, Chris? Have you ever used them?
Never.
I use them. They're on Amazon. These things came, they were massive. I got 109. They gave me a 9 extra.
Okay.
So making this part look pretty isn't necessary.
Not at all. I'm actually gonna tuck it in. I'm gonna give it like 10 minutes to just kind of dry a little, and then I'm gonna just kind of mold it down there. And it's not really necessary for a complete seal is what I'm going for. I'm just going for to hold that pipe centered right on that cut, and then this will actually pool up with water. And what this does is creates back pressure down onto the pump and stuff, and settles, diffuses the pump pressure. So having a body of water up here, we turn this pump into volume and not pressure, right? So all we got to do is seal that up a little bit, have a bowl, and then this is just going to dance real pretty about right here.
Okay, so if we're keeping track, we started at about 10 o'clock, Chris?
Yes, sir.
And let's see what time it is. 12:51 right now. Okay, we are 3 hours in to the bill. So we are right there. I'm gonna crawl under and turn around.
Yep. And I'm going to ask you to volume it up when it's time. Go to 2. Or do you, yeah, go to 2. See what that does. Whoa, what's that at? Is it really? Oh. All right, it's right there.
What I did is I mounted the controller underneath the deck here, and I can completely control the volume of flow right there. That just makes it pop. I don't know. I think it's the plants too with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's instant gratification.
Yeah. That is amazing.
whole new sound too.
Yeah. It just feels like it completes it almost. That's it, you guys. She's done. We are hitting on, what does your phone say, Chris? 1:16. So that puts us at 3 hours and 15 minutes from the time we started to the time we're cleaned up, water in, done. And would there be a difference if the guys weren't installing it into a wet? I mean, would the time be the same then, or would that be similar?
So your first crack at this, never had done it, open up the box, will probably take you 4 hours. The third, fourth, fifth time you do it, you're less than 3 hours. You're about dead on to what we just did too, when you're busting it out on a kit on its own.
So that's $1,000 for the kit.
Call it $1,200 for the kit. Probably another $100, $150 of accent stone and gravel and stuff like that.
That you want to bring with you, okay?
If you want to pimp it out with lighting, with automatic dosing system, maybe fancy stones, I always recommend a winter cover for it. You're all in, probably $2,000. You're all in, without knowing anybody's overhead, right? Tools, how far the job is, stuff like that.
Material costs alone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. $2,000.
So your profit is $3,000.
Correct.
And that's 3 hours.
Correct.
That's $1,000 an hour.
Correct.
That's one guy?
That's two guys.
Two guys.
Two guys.
So each guy's bringing in $500 an hour.
Yes. $500 an hour. Now imagine we got it done in 3 hours. How long would it take you to add a few ornamental trees, a few accent stones, maybe some mulch to make it look gratification? This looks awesome, as is. Does it look 10 times better with the grasses around it and plants around it and instant gratification? It's almost like putting up a Christmas tree, then you decorate it, right?
Yeah. This is what these plants make it pop. So those little things are the things. Aquascape. So if guys want more information, where would they go to find out more information? If this is something they want to do, or if it's a homeowner wanting to do it on their own, what do they do? Where do they go?
The first place you got to launch from is aquascapeinc.com. That's aquascapeinc.com. That is your launching point where you're going to start. From there, if you're a contractor, they're going to marry you up with a Chris Wilson type person, territory sales manager, and we set the path to succeed for you.
They do. So last year we did a pretty big pond waterfall thing. Chris was right there. We had questions. He was right there. He's like, this is how long it should take you boys. And then it took us 3 days longer than that. This is what you should be doing. And it took us longer, but it looked good. And you were there every single step of the way. And we got a massive one coming up.
Yeah.
Which makes this one look about average.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be a big one. So seriously, Aquascape does so much for the industry. I cannot tell you guys enough. If you're thinking about getting into the green industry, start at the top, not the bottom. A lot of you guys may be thinking about grabbing a push mower and going to work because that's what you're comfortable with. The learning curve, they'll teach you, they'll walk you through it. It's not a lot. The profits are unreal, insane, so much better. And it's just a satisfying, nichified market. And it's the way to go for money. I mean, money-wise and just general satisfaction.
That's it. It's something new. It's something different. It's creative. You sell yourself as an artist. And who doesn't want the sound of water anywhere, right? It fits anywhere. Who doesn't want the sound of water in your customer's backyard or heck, even your own backyard?
Well, that's it for this one. God bless you guys. And go get them. Catch you on the next one. Thanks, Chris.
Heck yeah.